Hey, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Taking Flight. Today is all about confidence, playfulness, and how it can transform just how you feel and how you operate in this world. I purposely wore this joy sweatshirt because to me, playfulness and movement bring a lot of joy into my life. And it's something that I feel really, really passionate about. As a lifelong dancer and dance educator, and just somebody who enjoys just the silly frivolousness of life and movement, it's been something that's really, really important to me. And I've incorporated it into my everyday life. I incorporate it into times when I'm with my clients, like mid-session dance parties, when people are feeling, or at least they seem like they're really tense or in their heads too much. It brings us down, right? And that's the joy in life, is that we can kind of tap into the things that we need and understand what can help us navigate more confidently, whether it's going to that meeting that's kind of stressing you out or, just feeling good in your own skin again, right? So many times we have these moments in life where we just look in the mirror and we don't feel connected to the human looking back at us. And to me, I feel very strongly that playfulness and dance and movement of some sort can bring us back to ourselves. So today we're going to chat a little bit about how my transformation in my own confidence journey have been upheld with dance, movement, and just being downright silly. And then B, giving you some kind of tools and resources and thoughts to incorporate into your own everyday life, to really see how you can ignite yourself in a new way. And so for my own journey, let's kind of start there, right? For my own journey, as somebody who has had dance in their life in a more of a formal way, right? Just in the classroom, whether I was the dancer or the teacher, it might make sense. Some people might be going, yeah, of course, it's something that you embrace and you love because it's been a part of your life for so long. But the thing is, when I think about how it plays a role in my life now versus how it's been in my life forever, over 35 years, it's a whole different ballgame because now it's intentional. Now I understand really what it does for my mind, body, spirit, energy. And so it's not necessarily easy. There's still an awkwardness to inviting in dance and movement and playfulness. There's still a commitment to oneself when you are going to kind of do something that maybe pushes your comfort zone or maybe could easily be put on the back burner. Because let's be honest, right? Having a dance party in your kitchen is not the first thing on the top of your list to do in a busy week. But what if it was? And what if it's what changed you and your energy for the better? And so for me, that's exactly what happened, right? I got more intentional over the last few years and seeing how it plays a role in me showing up more boldly in my life. And often people look at me as somebody who is unafraid and bold and confident. And the truth is, I'm really, really a shy, kind of introverted person who is anxious about a lot of things. And I'm open about that journey often, right? And it is something that we need to talk about more because the perception of a human is just one side of them. And there's so much more to the reality of that same human. And so to break down those barriers, I want to set this reminder and kind of this bar, if you will, that it's not necessarily just so easy to always feel really good in your own skin. There are days when, right, you don't want to get out of bed. I'm raising my hand super, super high on that one because there are often days that I'm just like, today is no good already. I'm writing it off. I haven't even got out of bed. My feet haven't got off the ground. There's this anxious energy inside of my chest. I can feel it, right? And what do we do with that? So often we already just start our day off in a mood that doesn't serve anybody, specifically ourselves, but mostly as well, other people. And then we go in with just this notion that everything is going to be absolute crap. So what's going to follow is going to feel like absolute crap. But what if when you noticed that you have this kind of rumbling, heavy energy in your chest, or maybe it's in your tummy or wherever you hold your anxiousness, and you thought to yourself, you know what? I'm going to shift this. I don't know exactly how that's going to look or what it's going to take to move it all the way out of me, but I know that I'm going to give it a real good college try. And so what if you got up and you said to yourself, hey, I'm going to take 20 seconds of courage to put on a song that I really love, and I'm going to just let that change my energy. Maybe I'll even see myself bouncing or dancing a little bit while I brush my teeth, or I put away the dishes before I get started with the day. It can be that simple, right? And so what I'm getting at here is we have the power to build our confidence on a daily basis. And making these choices to add playfulness and movement into our days can be the thing that can be a catalyst for changing, right? The way that we think, the way that we interact with ourselves, the way that we put ourselves into the world, right? And most importantly, the way we experience the world back to ourselves, which is such a weird thing to think about and say. But right, when we are just letting ourselves be like, hey, this is pretty cool. It's not so bad. Yeah, maybe I had a crappy couple of days. Maybe this thing isn't going the way I want it to. But guess what? I have these tools in my arsenal to be able to change that. So dance every morning. Dance when you feel a little bit frustrated. For me, when I go and I'm ready to like sit down and maybe hammer out a bunch of notes for myself or send a bunch of emails or maybe get on the mic and talk and I feel stuck or the words aren't coming out super fluidly or I just feel, I don't really want to be doing this right now. I get up and I move. Sometimes it's the easiest thing of just shaking it out, right? You don't have to get up and do a whole choreographed dance ensemble number, but do something to move that energy, right? In the dance and theater world, you would see people shaking it out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the other hand, shaking out the foot, shaking out the other foot, right? And it's simple. Anybody can do that. You can be sitting at the breakfast table. You can be sitting in the car and waiting to go in for that meeting and just shake out that energy. So there's a bazillion different ways that you can incorporate and invite in movement into your life. And I know in the back of your mind, you're going, yeah, okay, it feels awkward. It feels weird. I don't really want to have one more thing to think about. And I want to take that expectation out for you and away from you because there's no expectations in this. It's just being more mindful in your everyday life and hearing like the inside energy screaming out, I need to move my body. I need to feel energized. I want to feel more confident in this right now. When you start listening to that quiet, still, sometimes screaming at the top of its lungs voice, you will absolutely 3,000% start to see and notice it more often and be able to shift it much more efficiently. So what could it be for you? Right? I want you to think for a second, like close your eyes if you need to, and think about what it is that you really enjoy. What makes you feel like moving? What makes you feel playful or silly? Maybe movement or dance isn't the first thing that comes to mind, but could it be something like coloring? Could it be something like games that make you feel more childlike and find wonder in life? We, as a society, have gotten away from really enjoying simplicities, right? And that's where the playfulness comes into this conversation, the simplicities of life. When we are kids, there's a statistic, and I don't know it off the top of my head, but some wildly, to me, insane statistic that is, as a child, we laugh X amount of times, and as an adult, it is vastly lower. What's the deal with that, right? We let society bog us down. We let others tell us what is good for us, best for us, the cool thing to do, all the things. And how unfortunate is that? Because it shows in the amount that we enjoy life as we get older, as we take on more responsibilities, as we take on different titles as parents, as business owners, as all of the things. And come on, you guys, that is so not fair. We have the ability to shift that, right? We don't have to let society tell us what to do anymore, right? We can say, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to be more silly. I'm going to play more games. I'm going to get on the floor and do whatever it is with your kids that might sometimes feel like, oh, I don't have time for that, or just you're not the playful type of person. You can't be. Find what it is that gets you excited and feeling in that vein and start there. So my goal for you today with this episode is to start thinking about what you like doing more. When I have conversations with clients, a lot of times I'll ask questions like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite animal? Like things that we used to like actually take as something very important in our lives. I had a kid once who, when you asked them their favorite color, they had top 5. They categorized their colors. Come on, that's cool, right? So what I'm getting at here is they held that as a high regard, but as an adult, when's the last time somebody asked you your favorite color? How can you inject into your life some playfulness and just really just hug it in and allow it to be okay? Don't let somebody tell you that that's not something you should be doing or you don't have time for that. Allow it. Grab a coloring book. Go to the store, grab some crayons, grab a coloring book that tickles your fancy. There's all different kinds out there. We have some in our basement that we pull out all the time. We've got Ninja Turtles. We've got, I don't even know, rainbows and ponies, and we've got all the things. And you know what? I'm not afraid to say it or ashamed to say that sometimes coloring is exactly what my mind, body, spirit, and energy needs. So today, I want you to tap into that younger version of yourself. That one when a song came on, you would just start bobbing to, right? We've all seen those videos of like the cutest little kid in a diaper running around and the music comes on and they just like drop it low. It's the best. Why not you? Why not us right now, at any moment, at any time? So the 3 takeaways for today are to get quiet with that inner voice, that inner anxiousness, that inner overwhelm that we might be pushing down and letting it just continue to fester until we're just so frustrated or we're just so defeated that we don't know where to go. Get quiet with it, listen, and see where you can take that. Number 2, I want you to take some time to think about things that really light you up. And if you can't think of anything right now, go back to a time when there was more, when you had more things that made you excited, that just made you radiate. And really think about what about them made you excited? What about them kept you doing it at that time, right? What brought you back to it? And see what you can replicate in your life. So number 3 is figuring out how to replicate these ideas. And maybe it doesn't look the same, and most likely it won't, right? If you are thinking to a time when you went out dancing and that was a time when you didn't have kiddos and you had more time and energy and whatnot, that's our brains telling us that. But what I'm saying is those are our excuses and our realities as well at the same time. Then you might not be able to replicate it the same way, but what can you replicate out of it? How can you forge a relationship with that same kind of feeling now, right? Maybe you aren't going to go out dancing every weekend, but maybe you can commit to finding a friend, a partner, a somebody who would do it once a month. You're going to find a swing dance class. You are going to go play volleyball at a park district because that's something that used to light you up. It can be that simple. It's one choice away, one phone call, one scheduling, one just something away to you saying, oh my gosh, I feel ignited again. I found a piece of me that I may have thought was lost forever, and it wasn't. Because our childlike spirit is always there. It never goes away. We just really dampen it with all of life's everything. All of life's everything. That's going to be the quote of the day. We just dampen these spirits. And so to hold myself accountable alongside with you, I'm going to share one thing that I just did to continue bringing more joy into my life. And that is that I signed up for my own dance classes. So as somebody who has taught for many years, I have not been the student for so long. And I miss the excitement of not knowing the choreography and challenging myself and my body, which doesn't feel like mine right now, if I'm being honest. So it feels a little foreign to me. So I have a friend and we committed to trying out a couple classes at a local studio that has adult kind of hip-hop-ish type dances, which is the last style that you would have found me doing in my heyday. But here we are, and we're going to go. We're going to try it out. We're going to take some classes, and I'm going to tap into that awkward, tap into that I found the time. I prioritized myself, my movement, what's calling me, and here I am. Here I go. Let's go. So there's my accountability. Let's find yours. If you need a little help or a little nudge, you know where to find me. Jump into my socials and say hello. Let me know what you are going to commit to doing, and I will keep just nudging and celebrating you as you go. So enjoy finding whatever it is inside of you that's kind of trickling up after listening to this, and I can't wait to see where it takes you.